What's up, everybody? It's Barbarisi from the Bronx, Tito Love from the South Bronx, and Weedy B is watching this cute little video. Look how sweet my baby is. He's an angel, everybody. So right now we're in Hunts Point. Today has been a very amazing day as far as weather's concerned. The weather was sporadic. Boppy, roll down my window, honey, so I can show them the clouds. I don't have control of my window, so look at the clouds, guys. Hold on. Oh, man, it was a perfect shot before. No, I can't see the clouds now, babe. Can't see them now. Yeah. Hold on a second. Wait, there'll be just, yeah. Anyway, guys, I don't know if you can see that, but before it was sunny. Then it went from ice pellets, sleet. Then it went from sunny, and this is all happening consecutively. Sunny to sleet again, and it was the sky would just be sunny, and then black all of a sudden with all this ice coming down. It was amazing. I recorded some of it. So yeah, it was just like, everyone was like, what the hell's going on? Oh my God, look how beautiful the clouds look. Roll that window down, honey. Wow, guys, look how beautiful and amazing. The sky, I love those fluffy clouds. They're amazing. So I just want to tell everybody that thank you. I appreciate you watching me. And I haven't made a video like this in a minute, but I'm going to continue to make my videos and talk about just anything you want to talk about. You know, I just want to thank God for another day of life. Appreciate everything the Lord is doing for me in my life. You know, I just can't wait to start helping people. You know, this is my goal. This is my hunger. You know, I'm eager to help other people. I've always been that way. I enjoy helping other people. I believe helping other people is so rewarding when you see that you've done something for somebody that, you know, was struggling in whatever area. You know, just giving someone $1 for a meal, or buying them a cup of coffee, or feeding the cat. You know, the feral cats. I feel it's liberating to do that. I really do. It's just something about it. There's something about, for me, helping other people. It's a joy. It's not to get recognition. It's not to be like, hey, look at me. You know, I did this. No, it comes from the heart. And usually people that help people, it comes from their heart. You know, and yeah, it feels good to be like, oh, nice, that was nice what you did. But that shouldn't be the main reason. That shouldn't be what drives you to do that. You know, it should be something that's inside of you. You can roll up the window now, honey, this one. Thank you so much. Boppy, this one, honey, to the left. Yeah. Thank you, because it's dangerous, you know, with the baby. What? Oh, there's the terminal market, guys. Yes, that's where the Fulton Fish Market is. That's where the produce is. Can you guys see it? There it is right there, guys. There's the market, okay? It's a famous market. Yeah, there's the one with the loading docks, but there's a lot more loading docks inside. So, guys, I was finding out so many statistics, okay, and facts about this terminal market. It's the biggest one in the United States. The biggest one in the United States, right here in the Bronx. Right here in Hunts Point, guys. Isn't that amazing? That we have the largest produce, I believe, in all genres. In all the genres. Now we're on Seneca. 1314, the cat. Right? Chris, remember the cat that Chris found, Bob? Do you remember that? And he said he named it 1314? Yeah, I hope he's doing all right. That was so kind of you to do that for him. Or her. I'm not sure what it was, a boy or a girl, but I found that so cool, you and that young lady did that day. Oh, so let me tell you guys a couple of experiences, how I got pneumonia. And my cousin Christy came out. to Lincoln Hospital. Like I said, I'll never forget it. It is this very building right there. That very building right there. Okay? No, I am so sorry. It was actually 1314. Oh my goodness, see, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. We were just on Lafayette. Yes. Okay. Now we're going on Seneca. My bad. How could I forget that, right? So the building 1314, there was a friend of mine that lived in there. This is while I was using drugs, of course. And I would frequently go into his apartment and do my thing. You know, you pay them, you give them a couple of jammies, and they're good to go, and you get your privacy. This is the building right here. That's it. That gate was not on it. Okay, it's 1314 Seneca. Okay, there's the house that me and Tito met up in, where my friend Millie lived, and all my other friends. They lived on the top floor, but it was abandoned. But everyone was squatting, and some people actually charging rent for letting people live in there. I love my peanut butter. Weedy Bee, want some peanut butter, honey? You want some peanut butter? Yes. Good boy. Yay! Look, he's eating it. Oh, I love when he eats peanut butter. It's so good for you. Damn, I wish I had another. Can I have oh, you gave me a banana, right? Yeah. Oh, Lord, where did I put the banana? Here it is. I got it. So, here it is. This is what happened. As you guys know, I was smoking a lot of cocaine. I'm not trying to make it sound fancy, but I don't like using that word. I don't even like saying the word cocaine in front of my son, but I'm telling you guys the truth. You see, when you use that, use a screen, and the screen resonates in your lungs. It breaks off into little metal shards, and your lungs are made up of pockets of tissue. Okay. And when things settle in, that's why mesothelioma is so dangerous, because it's actually the fibers get stuck and woven in to those pockets of tissues that your lungs are made up of. So what happens is your lungs will heal, but the fibers remain embedded, okay, into the lungs, into the tissue. So when the skin grows over those fibers, the lungs cannot expand like they should, or like they could have before you breathed in, God forbid, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, mesothelioma or asbestosis from asbestos. This little fiberglass that gets caught in your lungs, and the lungs heal and grow a layer of tissue over and cause thick scarring. But the scarring and the remaining little shards of fiber that are remaining in the lungs cannot expand. It's painful. These people have extreme pain breathing because of that. Okay? Now, it's kind of the same thing. The reason I explain that to give you an idea of what's happening to the lungs when certain things get inside of them, in those little pockets of tissue that your lungs are made up of, okay? So when these little shards of metal would wind up in my lungs, I would cough them up quite frequently. Quite frequently, I would cough them up. And it would cause me a lot of inflammation. I felt my lungs were inflamed. My throat would be inflamed. And I believe this is what initiated me getting pneumonia. because my lungs were being wounded from the inhalation of these metal shards. And I believe it was leaving, you know, punctures in my lungs, perhaps. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you would think that if little metal shards are penetrating the tissue of your lungs, that it's going to leave little cuts and stuff. And the bacteria, the virus, you know, gets in the lungs and then it heals over it, and you just don't know. I mean, it's like a recipe for disaster. So as I'm coughing up all these black chunks of, you know, and you guys, I see the metal flakes. I've seen them in there. I've seen them. And I was like, oh my God. So I started coughing up green sputum with the metal flakes. And this was progressing over a week. And I couldn't breathe, and I would just be coughing and coughing and coughing. And one day, I went into my friend's apartment, and it got so bad that I was dizzy and disoriented. And I couldn't breathe, and I was staggering all over the place. And I went into my other friend, Amos's apartment. We used to call him Famous Amos, like the cookies, okay? I went into his apartment, and he said that I just passed out. He called the ambulance. The next thing I know, I'm in the hospital, and they tell me I had pneumonia. I believe it was called pneumonia, something. I'm sorry, I can't exactly remember the technical name, but it was a bacterial pneumonia, and it was one of the worst ones. The one that I caught was so bad that if I didn't go to the hospital that day, I would have died. They called my mother and said I was in grave condition. Grave condition. That is the only time that my mother came out there out of concern for me, is when they said that I was going to die. And she came out there with my cousin Chrissy, which I appreciated that. So when I had gotten the pneumonia, they had to put a chest tube inside of my lung. And I drained, no lie, about 2 big containers of pus, of sputum. It was horrible. You know, when they put the chest tube in, it didn't hurt so much, but coming out was extremely painful. I seen stars, moons. I seen the whole thing. And when I looked at those containers, you know, because it would fill up and they'd empty it. When I looked at them, you think that I would say, okay, I need to get some help. You think that I would say, okay, you know, I could have died. I was in grave condition. The doctors told me if I waited one more day, I would have been dead. I passed out from this pneumonia. I passed out from it. I don't even remember, and it had nothing to do with me being high at the time. I passed out because that's how sick I was. That's how sick I was. And in here, because I didn't care about my life because I was so hurt. When I left the hospital the first time, because I left, I signed out of doctor's orders, signed against doctor's orders. And I called my mother's screaming at me, you're gonna die, and all this, because that's my mother's very dramatic like that. She means well in some instances, but she always says that, like, you're gonna die. She says it about anybody who's sick. Oh, if you don't bring her home, they'll die, you know. That's just how she talks. This is before she came and got me. I said to myself, you know what? This was like the push of my beginning, the road to the beginning of my recovery. even though it didn't turn out that way. But it was like the signals were going off in my mind. The signals were going off in my mind that I need help, that I need to change my life, that I need to do something else. I'm meant for more than this. That I'm meant for more than this. I signed myself back into the hospital. Voluntarily, I went back in. I said, look, I need help. And that's when my mother came with Chrissy. And thank you for that. Like I said, I'll never forget that. You know, it was like, I felt so alone before that. I felt so like I didn't have anybody, you know. And when you came out there, it touched my heart. And I'll never forget that. Never. And that's when I went to live with my brother. But, you know, my brother, God rest his soul, is a wonderful, wonderful person. But it didn't work out me living with him because my brother had his own vices. And for me to be in recovery, because I stopped using for quite some time at that point in my life. It didn't last, but I did. I wasn't using, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't doing my mother would have to give me, because what happened was, in Long Island, to get in a methadone program, it doesn't work like it does in the city. You have to be on a waiting list for 2-3 months. You believe that? So if you're an opiate addict on Long Island, you can't just walk in the clinic like here and get medicated the same day. It's not going to happen. It's basically, they say you have to keep using, right? Keep using until there's an opening. Because guess what? If you are not, like, let's say you are an addict, but you are really sick and you couldn't get nothing that day, they're not going to help you. You can't get any help from them. They put you on a waiting list and tell you, well, you have to keep using. That's how it goes. So my mother had to give me painkillers every day. And I had to go to the doctor to get painkillers so I wouldn't get sick. My brother had his own little issue with painkillers. He was in a lot of pain. So I would give him predominantly most of my painkillers. Because he was going through, a lot of traffic. See?
No, it's not that.
What? What's up? Yes, I see that, Papi. Yeah, the truck is backing up. It's backing up and blocking all the traffic at the same time. So I had to maintain not being sick by taking opiate pills, painkillers. It did help me, but it was like, I think it was a shame, because how could they do that? How could Long Island not have a program where people can go in and get help? That's like enabling somebody. That's like basically telling you, listen, yes, you're an addict, but you can't get any help from us because there's a waiting list. There's more people in the city than there is on Long Island. So why is it you can go here in the city and get help immediately, but out there on Long Island you have to be put on a waiting list? That's basically telling you, F you, use until there's an opening, and we don't care, So if you OD, oh well. That makes no sense. How is that the war on opiates? There should be an opening for anyone who's seeking help. Now, if someone is going in there and abusing it, and they're still using opiates,
Willow, ¿cómo estás? Finish.
what, papi?
You finish the video?
No, why are you saying that?
Oh, because you got quiet.
Well, you were saying hi to your friend, and am I supposed to interrupt?
No, that's fine. We're getting up from point now.
Yes. That's nice. You seen your friend, see? Aww.
One of them. Yeah.
What?
One of them. I got more friends in here.
I know you do. Tito has a lot of friends out here. But it's like they enable you and discourage you on Long Island when you have a problem, instead of letting there be an opening so you get the help you need. Now, like I said, I was seeing that if a person is abusing it and they're not using it to their advantage and they're still using, then they need an intervention. They need to be told, look, you're going to remain on the program. You need to get help. You need to stop using, because there's people that need it, that want to use it to their advantage and not continue to just be using heroin and taking methadone because you're not using the program for what it's supposed to be for. It's supposed to be for to come off of it. And I know firsthand how hard it is to come off. I understand that. It's extremely hard. But you have to have some kind of willpower if you're actually signing yourself into a program. If you're doing it on the right pretenses, then there's some kind of will in you that's trying to fight. You know, you have a fighter survival instincts that you don't want this anymore, that you want change. So if anybody that is in a program and is still using, ask God to help you. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. For me, thank God that as soon as I got on the program, I stopped using heroin. Just like that. I might have used it once or twice because I had a cocaine problem and I was, I might have speedballed a couple of times, but it wasn't like I did it every day. Since I've been on the program, I might have used the heroin the most 4 times in the 8 years I've been on it. And that was only the first year. That was it. You enjoying your peanut butter, baby? Look at that little boy. He's such a sweetheart. He's making a big mess. Look, guys. I gotta clean him up when he's done. What he's done with his peanut butter. Oh, let me wipe that nose, though. You don't want it on your schnozzle. No, 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 no. Yeah, so that was the pneumonia. And the pneumonia wound up staying in my lungs for months and months. So while I was on Long Island, I had to go to the other hospitals because the pneumonia was starting to regenerate itself. It was coming back full force. They said I had a pus pocket in my lung the size of a golf ball. No, I'm sorry. I think bigger, like a softball, or somewhere in between. But they said it was about that big. So you do the figuring out how large that is. It's kind of like in between a golf ball and a softball, like a baseball. Yeah, that's right, a baseball, a regular hard baseball. They said that the pneumonia was that bad. That it just it remains in my lung. So I just want to tell you guys that if anybody out there is struggling with an addiction, I will pray for you. If you want, you don't have to leave me your name or anything. You can just leave an initial if you don't feel comfortable. But I will pray for anybody and everyone that wants help. That's why I'm here on this earth, guys, is to help other people. And I mean that with all of my heart. I love helping people. It's a joy. It's an absolute joy for me when I see the happiness in someone's eyes when you help them with no intention of I love helping people, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to pray and help others. And the children. I'm here to pray and help the children. Right, Weedy Boo? Yes, babe. No, don't put that on your daddy. Don't put that on your... Look, he got peanut butter all over my pants, guys. Let me wipe him up. Let me see. Oh, it's 25 minutes. Did want to tell you one last thing. So, this happened extremely fast. I got it, baby. I got you. I got you. I got you, sweetheart. I got you. You want your baba? Here, sweetheart. You're my little angel. Boop. So there was, real quick, a time and a day that I got into this guy's car. He had like a sports car. I get into his car. You know, it's the same usual greeting. Hi, my name's Vanessa. What can I do for you? We get on the Bruckner Expressway, and he's driving real fast. He pulls out a gun. He puts it to my head and tells me, shut the F up, bitch, if you want to live. There was no cars around us. You know how fortunate I am? You know what I did? And he was driving. He was at a light. He started to take off. And he was building up speed very fast. He was probably going like, at least, because remember, he was stopped at a light. He did this while I was stopped at a light. He locked the car, the doors, but they had the knobs, so I could pull it up. Thank God, because if he didn't, I might be dead. He put the gun to my head and said, shut the F up, bitch, if you want to live. So the light turned green, right? This was on the Bruckner Expressway. A busy road just like this. So here it is, the fight or flight. My brain's thinking, I've been in precarious situations like this before. Pulled the knob up. He's building up speed. He has the gun to my head. I pop the button up. I jump out of the car. I'm tumbling on the Bruckner Expressway. I'm so lucky and blessed, rather, the grace of God, that nobody ran me over. If there would have been cars behind us, I would have been dead. There's no doubt about it. Because the cars zoom. They drive on the Bruckner Expressway like nobody's business. They go real fast. And I would have been dead. But I'm here to tell you that. So, jumping out of someone's moving vehicle when there's a gun to your head is not a joke, guys. Alright? So I love you guys. God bless you. Jesus loves you.